this is an interesting piece that we wanted to talk about from Benji Sarlin over at Semaphore. Put this up on the screen. So he is warning, like, listen, even if Trump loses, let's say he loses the primary or loses the general election, why are you assuming that that's going to be it for him? That he's just going to, oh, that's so sad that I lost. I'm just going to go home to Mar-a-Lago and enjoy my grandchildren or whatever. His headline here is, don't assume this is Donald Trump's last run. And I think he makes some good points here. He says, it might seem a little early, even absurd to bring this up now, but a refusal to acknowledge Trump's comeback ambitions after 2020 may have cost his Republican critics their last best chance to cut off his path to nomination in 2024. Everyone in the party should proceed with eyes wide open now, however they decide to handle him this cycle. Let's start with one simple fact. President Biden will turn 82 just 2 weeks after Election Day 2024. Donald Trump will be the same age on Election Day 2028. God is the ultimate decider when it comes to their political futures. But age alone is no guarantee against another run. Another fact, Trump is extremely predictable. He does not acknowledge defeat. He lashes out at the people he blames for sabotaging him, and he responds to setbacks by trying to immediately prove his dominance again. There is little reason to think a loss would prompt a different reaction this time. What did you think of this, Saagar?
Yeah, I mean, I do think it is correct, and I do think that I've just always said I think the Trump era ends the day that Donald Trump dies, because even if he's not the nominee, he will still be the driving force behind the party. The counterfactual I've been talking a lot about recently is Reagan. Reagan got out of office and basically peaced out. He retired from politics. He didn't actively engage. This is what a world would look like if Reagan had decided to stay engaged basically up until the end. Reagan actually did not particularly like George H.W. Bush, didn't agree with a lot of what he was doing, but said, I'm going to do my duty. I'm not going to talk against the president. I'm not going to actively get involved in Republican races. And he kept his mouth shut and kind of let his legacy stand as it was.
He was also mentally declining.
Well, yeah, but it's not
including when he was
exclusive,
in office.
right?
Yeah.
You know, that's part of the issue, right? Which is one of those things where he was willing to acknowledge that with grace and just kind of go away. Whereas Trump is not willing to do that at all. Trump is like, I'm going to be engaged basically up until the end, up until I decide. I don't think a scrap of evidence exists that says that even if he was on mental decline that he would stop. I mean, I think he would probably just become even more engaged. Isn't that what they say when you're older? Like you just revert to like your most base tendencies.
I don't know.
So
probably, yeah.
Most likely.
That makes sense.
So the thing is with Trump is there's no reason to think that he would just back out in 2024. Like, and even if he did, he would endorse somebody and he would keep the game going up until the last moment and make everybody kiss his ass up until the end. And it all just depends on whether the base is still going to care about that. From what we know right now, yeah, they do. They are going to care what he has to say. Maybe they don't. Maybe they don't in 2028. It's certainly possible. It's a long way away, but you know, where things currently stand, why wouldn't you if you're Donald Trump? He loves attention more than anything else on the planet. That's what he would do.
Well, and we talked about it right after January 6th. You know, there was a real sort of like shock within a lot of Republicans. It comes out in the Fox News text, which we're going to talk about Fox News in a minute, about how like horrified some of the hosts were. Politicians like Kevin McCarthy even messaging him on that day. Mitch McConnell coming out and, you know, decrying what happened and being pretty decently strong language against Trump on all of that. And the public opinion was overwhelmingly disgusted with January 6th and what happened and Trump's role in it and all of that. And maybe there was an opening there if the Republican Party really wanted to move on from Trump. I'm talking about Republican elites here because there's no sign the base really wants to move on from. But Republican elites at that point, they at least had a hand to play. They could have, if they acted in concert, tried to, you know, bar him from running for office again or, you know, directly impeaching or at least settling on a narrative about January 6th and consistently, like, messaging it that was unfavorable to Donald Trump. But instead, after, like, a week or two of making some noises about being unhappy about it, they either stopped talking about it or they basically adopted whatever his framing of the day was. And so to the extent that there was an opening there, and I think that's probably the biggest opening that there has been for the Republican Party to, you know, rid itself of Trump, they folded and they hoped he would just go away. And that's kind of what Benji is getting at here is like, you see it playing out again. I mean, we just played you Tim Scott being like, yeah, I'm not even willing to say the word Trump. Ron DeSantis, over and over again, not even willing to say the word Trump. Nikki Haley, I'm not kicking sideways. Like, to this day, they're still unable to reckon with the fact that you either got to do something to get rid of this dude or else you just should accept that he is going to be the Republican Party until the day that he dies.
Yeah.
And there seems to be no awareness of that, no recognition of that, no ability or willingness to do anything about it. And so, yeah, this is going to be the play that just continues to repeat itself over and over again. Hey guys, ready or not, 2024 is fully upon us now, and Saagar and I have been brainstorming ways that we can really up our game for this critical election.
Yeah, we rely on our premium subs to expand our coverage, to add staff, to upgrade the studio. We just want to give you the best independent coverage of this election, which is possible. So if you can help us out, become a premium subscriber today, breakingpoints.com, or the link is down here in the description video. It really means the world to us, and if you like what we're all about, this is the best possible way to keep us 100% independent, working only for you.